Yeah.
I talked to him on March 12th. We don't have a good address on him right now either.
Okay.
I just talked to him a few weeks ago. I must not have put his on there.
Mr. Walker, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. We're on the record in the matter of Kendra Coleman versus George Walker, file number 2017-1309 DP, as well as Brittany Walker versus George Walker, file number 18900 DM. And Mr. Walker, what is your address?
1301 Locust Street.
Okay. What town?
Jackson, Michigan, 203.
Thank you. No longer living out of state?
No, sir.
Okay. Our case will be,
The pandemic hit and I had to,
go ahead.
I was just saying the pandemic hit and I ended up moving back.
All right, caseworker will provide the file status, Mr. Walker, and I'll give you an opportunity to respond, okay? Ms. Todd?
Yes.
On the 2017 file with Kendra Coleman, Mr. Walker has a monthly obligation of $603 a month or $138.62 a week. There's no dischargeable debt, so that's not an option. His last payment was $20, self-pay March 11th, 2020. Prior to that, we were getting payments via income withholding from Meadowlark Builders. The last order of the court, 12/5/19, that had to do with custody and parenting time, so nothing that would affect today's hearing. Mr. Walker has not had any bench warrants or failures to appear. I don't think there's been any findings of contempt. He's only had one show class hearing in the last year. In the 2018 matter, what is her name?
Brittany
Brittany
Walker.
Walker, sorry about that. There's a current monthly obligation of $760 a month, $765 a month, or $175.86 a week. There is some dischargeable debt on that file in the amount of $1,400. Now, obviously, I have no way of knowing or guaranteeing if he will qualify to have that debt discharged, but certainly he could submit a DHS 681, which is a request to discharge state-owed debt. If he wants to go ahead and submit that, I'd be glad to run that through and see if he would be eligible for a credit of $1,400 through that program. The last payment on this file, $20 on 3/11 self-pay. Prior to that, again, income withholding to Meadowlark Builders.
Very good. Mr. Walker, are you working?
No, currently, right now I'm just doing side jobs. I am looking for to gain full-time employment. Just haven't found anything full-time and with adequate pay to meet the criteria to pay the child support as well as to make a living for myself, Your Honor.
When did you last work?
I want to say like the first or second week of February. I was laid off by Meadowlark, then due to frost laws at the time.
Is Meadowlark Builders, is that in Texas or is that in Michigan?
That's in Michigan, sir. That's in Ann Arbor.
Okay. Are you eligible to return there?
That is something that I'm working on. at this current situation. I don't necessarily have a vehicle of my own, so I've been borrowing vehicles, trying to make ends meet at this time.
What income do you have now?
Right now, I don't necessarily have any income. I do some side jobs and stuff, which really isn't paying a whole lot because I don't have anything really going on. But I did make a payment yesterday. My wife made a payment online. She did put $40 on each of the accounts. I do have the confirmation and stuff in a screenshot.
Okay. With whom do you live on Locust Street, if anyone?
I'm sorry.
With whom do you live on Locust Street, if anyone?
My Aunt Linda Roberts.
Okay. And do you pay her rent?
Yes. Well, I haven't paid her in like the last 2 months just because I haven't worked.
When did you move back to Michigan?
It was probably about a week after I left to begin with, because the kids got kicked out of school, and so we had to come back because they were going to finish the school year with their living with their grandparents, and we ended up having to come back. But I was going to go down there for work. But
Okay, when did you move back then? I need a month and a date, a year.
I don't know exactly the day, sir. It was the middle
Okay,
of March.
a month. What month did you come back?
March.
March of this year, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, are you eligible for unemployment?
I did file for unemployment. The email that I received said that they would be taking that because they said that I owed restitution fees to the 17th District Court in Redford Township. So I'm not really sure what that was all about. I never really looked into it because they said that I owed them $2,800 or so. I'd have to check the numbers again to be 100% certain on that.
Do you owe that district court money?
Last I knew, sir, I served my time in jail. So last I knew, I didn't think I was responsible to owe them any type of money.
Why were you in
I
jail
don't
to
have
begin?
any-
Why were you in jail to begin with?
Well, sir, we're talking about from, I believe it was 2014 and 2015.
Okay, are you on probation or parole, anything like that as we speak, Mr. Walker?
I am currently on bond with the 14th District Court.
What's the charge?
Malicious use of a telecommunication.
Okay, and 14th District Court is located in what county?
Washtenaw.
Okay. But you're not, are you on parole or probation right now, other than the pending charge?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
What attempts have you made recently to secure employment?
Well, I've been looking on Facebook, Marketplace for Jobs. I've been looking on Craigslist, also as well as Indeed. I have a resume on Indeed. Your Honor, with the amount of child support and with as many kids as I have, I would really like to be able to go back to Meadowlark. So that is something that I'm speaking with my immediate supervisor, Rob Patterson, about. Because I need something with adequate pay, but I also need to file a motion to have my child support re-evaluated because right now, sir, I'm just having a hard time finding a job that would even make enough money for me to even adequately make an attempt to pay child support, let alone survive. I would need somewhere upwards of $18 to $20 an hour. I am a skilled carpenter. So it's just, I mean, it's not hard finding a job, sir. It's just finding one that, you know, somebody wants to pay you. Everybody wants to pay you next to nothing until you can prove that you know something. and to get a good paying job would require me to move out of town because of my transportation situation at this time.
Okay. Where were you working at the time these current support charges were, the orders entered to that effect? Where were you working?
If I'm not mistaken, it was based off of a income that was also had like about 10 hours of overtime acquired. If I'm not mistaken, it was air tech machining and manufacturing. When I was a CNC
How much were you
machinist
making per
programmer.
hour there?
Well, when I worked there, I was making $16 an hour with a guaranteed 10 hours overtime a week.
Okay. How old is Grayson?
Grayson is 2.
Lincoln.
No, Grayson is 3. Excuse me.
Lincoln.
Lincoln is 4.
Mason.
Mason is 7.
Landon.
8.
Keegan.
Keegan is going to be a year on August 20th.
Cabry.
Cabry is 3. She'll be 4 September 15th.
Okay. So your intention is to file a motion to possibly get an order for us to review support. Is that it, Mr. Walker?
Well, yes, sir, because during this time, I've also, I didn't bring any of this for this meeting because I know that that's not what this is about. So, but I've been keeping track of all the days and nights that I've been having my children, and I've been having my children very frequently. During the time of the pandemic and the time off of work, and the fact that the kids haven't been able to go to school or daycare, I've been stepping in to help their mothers with, you know, daytime parenting for the kids, as well as, you know, I have a calendar wrote down for my days of overnight stays as well, Your Honor. So I just like to change that because I think on my order it says that I don't, that I have 0 days or 0 nights, and I don't think it's documented when I have my kids.
Does Brittany work?
I believe so, sir.
Does Kendra?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. We'll let that take care of itself, Mr. Walker, in terms of your attempts to secure a different child support order based on a filing of a motion for an order for a support review to be conducted. As we speak, is it your understanding that in fact you have 0 overnights afforded to you? Is that right?
The last paperwork that I said, there was a thing, and it said that I had 0 days and 0 nights.
Okay. All right.
So I think I wasn't sure on the paperwork how that's read, but that's the paperwork that I have, sir. Yes.
Okay. The $40 payments help. What do you propose that we do in the interim, Mr. Walker, in terms of maybe drafting an order for you to make some sort of partial payment to persuade the court you have every intention to meet your child support obligation, making a good, sincere effort? What do you propose that we could do here for you to make at least some good faith attempt to make the payments?
Well, I'd ask the court, sir, to consider the fact that I am only basically working as I find jobs. I would ask the court to please at least allow me to make $20 a week payment on each account, which would be a total of $40 a week until I find full-time employment. With at that time, I would ask the courts to go ahead and do a garnishment, whatever sort, income withholding order.
How do you get
Once
jobs?
I find,
How do you secure side jobs, things of that nature?
what I'm saying, sir, is that people have requests on Craigslist and Facebook for
Okay.
jobs to be done.
All right.
And so when I can go do a job for $100 or, you know what I'm saying, sir, that's
Yeah.
how I've been making ends meet at this time.
Well, I have a couple of questions.
Our caseworker's got a couple questions for you, Mr. Walker. Go ahead, Ms. Todd.
George, do you have a
Okay.
professional license at all?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a professional license at all?
It's a DBA,
Okay, but you don't have a builder's license.
but I don't have any licenses. I don't have any insurances. I don't have any state licenses. I'm not a state contractor, state licensed contractor, no.
All right, that answers my question. The other thing that I'm a little confused about, and maybe this is the place that you applied, but we had a report through State Data Warehouse System of a possible employer, probable employer, Total Property Management, and that was reported through our system on the 4th of this month.
Ma'am, I worked with them
I
temporarily.
guess, do you work there?
Do you work there?
Which point, I'm sorry?
Do you work there?
No, sir. I did work for a few weeks. Yes, I did. When I lived in Kalamazoo, they have a location in Plainwell.
All right.
And I just also want to let you know, I looked up your last.
You should be able to see that on that income, it was only for 24 hours.
Okay, I just wanted you to know that when your last support review was done, it was based on $15.85 an hour. The employer at the time was Contract Supply, just for your information.
Losing? Losing?
That's it, I don't have anything else.
I think we lost Mr. Walker.
Oh, he's coming back on.
Hello?
Okay, apparently we lost you, but you're back now. Acceptable, Ms. Todd, I just in my order recommend a support review.
That's fine,
Okay.
and some kind of payment.
All right, Mr. Walker, when can you start making at least $20 payments per week on each of these files? Are you there, Mr. Walker?
Until he pays it.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now.
When can you start making your $20 per week payments?
Well, like I said, Your Honor, I just put 40 on each of the accounts the other day. So I'll talk to my wife and, but I assume we could probably start that this Friday.
Okay, very good. All payments to be made directly to the front of the court office in cash only, $20 in each case. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
And then if you secure employment, the order shall require you to provide written notice of that information to our office, and we'll take it from there. And we'll do a support review, okay?
Yes, thank you.
We'll change your address in our system, and you'll receive a copy order from our hearing here today. Thanks for your appearance, and keep an eye on the mailbox, okay?
Thank you.
We'll go off the record. Bye-bye.